we have to play with the Trump administration is a game of cat and mouse. We have to pay attention to the things that have geopolitical implications and the things that are faff and culture wars and just meant to hurt people and to distract them. The Foreign Corrupt Practices Act and the lack of enforcement of it is the former. Wherever you are in the world, you need to pay attention to what's going to happen when Trump stops enforcing this law. I spent 10 years working in the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act and in the Anti-Bribery Act because I worked in compliance and in finance. I can tell you that people underestimate the impact that corruption has in the world, especially in the countries in the sphere of Western influence. How do you think the DRC got to the point in which it is? How do you think dictatorships like the Indonesian dictatorship of Suharto or Angola under José Eduardo dos Santos were able to maintain their grip on power for as long as they did? And the answer is corruption. The Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, in a nutshell, is the threat of prosecution of US individuals and companies that bribe foreign officials. This doesn't target just the action of a company, it targets the actions of all of the subsidiaries of these companies. So for instance, when you have Apple and Tesla and Microsoft and Dell being taken to court by survivors of the cobalt mines in the DRC Congo, it's not that they were exploiting directly these children that were maimed and killed and exploited. It's that they bought the cobalt from companies that they did not investigate. Companies that bribed local officials to allow them to exploit these people. Without the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act being a threat to these companies, they will do whatever they please. They will use this money to corrupt local politicians who won't just use it to buy the types of luxuries that we associate with people like Imelda Marcos, for instance, in the Philippines, or Leila Ben Ali in Tunisia. They're going to use this money to fund their armies, to fund the branches of their political campaigners. And a part of the danger of the way in which the Trump administration is approaching this is the justification that they're giving it. They're saying that they're going to stop prosecuting people for bribery because it's going to facilitate business, which means that there's going to be a race to the bottom in all Western nations to become competitive. I cannot stress the impacts that this will have on human rights, on democracies around the globe. So I need you to, if you are in the United States, get your local prosecutor to bring a case against them. And if you're outside of the United States, I need you to pay attention to what your governments are going to do in the next couple of years when it comes to bribery and corruption. Don't allow them to step back from a global commitment that keeps us all safer.